Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. So today I had a great question in the comments asking what states have the best cap rates to buy a multifamily real estate. That's the first question. And the second question is how did I find my first property which I bought as a house hack? So let me answer the first question first. So the states that have the best cap rates are typically states that have more cash flow. So for example, California, where I live, generally speaking, has lower cap rates because it has more appreciation, less cash flow. In the Midwest, the Sun Belt states, so like Oklahoma, Alabama, Missouri, Georgia, they have higher cap rates. So like let's say 8 to 10 cap versus California is a 5 cap. And when it has a higher cap rate, typically it means that you have less appreciation, more cash flow. So, for example, if you're in a 10 cap market, you're going to have more cash flow. So, in order to basically calculate the cap rate, you're going to take your net operating income divided by your purchase price. So, if you're at a 10 cap market, then you're going to need a higher NOI and, relatively speaking, a lower purchase price to fulfill that 10 cap calculation versus in California you're going to need a smaller NOI and a higher purchase price to get a 5 cap. So that's a distinction. So for me, that's why I invest in both California, which is mostly appreciation, mostly not much cash flow. It's typically negative cash flow. So I own some single family homes in a lower cap rate market, and I also diversified into Alabama, Oklahoma, which are higher cap rate markets for more cash flow. So together, they kind of complement each other in my real estate portfolio. So my California real estate portfolio, a lot of appreciation, probably negative cash flow, versus my Oklahoma, Alabama portfolio, it's less appreciation, more cash flow. So for some examples, like most of my California single family homes break even, and they probably have about $500,000 of equity that built up over the past 7 years. Versus my Oklahoma apartments, it's a little bit different. I forced the NOI to go up on these apartments, and the value of multifamily is based on the net operating income minus the cap rate. So it's based on your income and minus your expenses. So if you can increase your income or lower your expenses or do both simultaneously, assuming the cap rate's the same, you can force appreciation of your apartment. And that's exactly what I did, right? So I was able to renovate the units and raise the rents to market rent and manage my expenses so I can increase my net operating income. If I can increase my net operating income from like $100,000 to $150,000 in a 10 cap market, I just increased the value from $1 million to $1.5 million. So I forced $500,000 of appreciation, and it'll still cash flow. So, but in Oklahoma, the cap rates typically don't really change that much, right? Like it might go up, which will lower the value, or it rarely goes down, right? And something to note, and a little bit off topic, but as interest rates go up, cap rates go up. If cap rates go up, the values will go down, right? So this is how it's all connected. Like right now, interest rates are 8% for multifamily real estate. As a result, it drove up my cap rates from like a 9 cap to a 10 cap. And then from there, the value of my apartments are going down, right? Versus with single family homes, the value isn't based on your net operating income or based on cap rates. The value of your single family home is based on what your neighbor's house sells for. So that's the key distinction. And that's why I own both, right? Like I started off in single family, scaled to multifamily, and I want a good balance of both, right? So I get the best of both worlds. Multifamily, you get economies of scale. You get, it's more like a business. You can renovate the units and raise the rents like $20 on multiple units. So that's kind of how I do it, and that's how I scale. So, with multifamily real estate, that's how I play the game, right? So, like to kind of summarize, sorry, someone just called me, which distracted me. When you raise rents on 20 units by $20, you just get $400 more in rent, versus you raise rent on one single family home, you only get $50 or $20. And with multifamily, as you renovate other units, you have other units paying you, right? So let's say I have a 20 unit apartment complex. I can renovate 10. I still have 10 units paying me. With single family homes, if I only have one unit, then if it's renovating, I don't get any income, right? So that's kind of the pros and cons, and that's why I have both, right? Like I've been honest. I started single family, went to multifamily. So to kind of backtrack to the question, high cap rate markets. Think of the Midwest, Sun Belt, Oklahoma, Alabama, Missouri, um, just Indianapolis, just Tennessee, like just those areas. Draw a smiley face on the U.S. map. Typically, those have higher cap rates, and you can Google it, like, oh, which states have the best cap rates, and that's why I do Oklahoma, Alabama. You might do Indianapolis. Great, if you have an unfair advantage in Indianapolis, by all means, buy real estate in Indianapolis, right? So the next part of the question was, how did I find my first properties? So honestly, I bought my first 3 properties on Redfin. Like, that's on the MLS. Like, I didn't do anything special. I remember in the beginning, every weekend I would go to multiple open houses. I bought my first house in Livermore, California. Why did I choose Livermore? Is because I was living in Milpitas. It's too expensive. Next city over is Fremont. Too expensive. Next city over is Pleasanton. Too expensive. Next city over is Dublin. Too expensive. Next city over, Livermore. Oh, it's about what I wanted to pay, right? And then next to Livermore would be like Concord. So that was more in my price range. So once I kind of did all that, I looked at it and I just said, okay. I just went to open houses every weekend. I'd go to open house and make an offer that made sense for me, right? And then for me, I was more running the numbers. Like, okay, if it's 10% down, interest rates 4% at the time in 2017. This is how much my monthly cost is, including my mortgage, property tax, insurance, HOA, utilities. And these are the bedrooms I can rent for $1,000 each. And then this is how much I pay out of pocket, right? So I literally just did that. That's how I calculate my numbers. It was very basic. You can, on Redfin, they have the calculator there for you. And I just figured I just look quickly. Well, I can probably rent the room for $900, $1,000 each, right? Give or take. You can look on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and see what they rent for. So I calculated my mortgage would be about, just property tax and interest would be about $3,000, and then everything else would be it was $1,500, which I would pay. So I just started making offers on a bunch of properties, and I was pretty agnostic. Like, I just make offers that made sense for me. And I would see what happens. And I made an offer on this property, and after back and forth, they accepted it, and then I closed on it in November. And in November, what's nice is it's less busy, it's less competition, and less buyers because people don't want to move. During the winter time, during the holidays. And I remember I closed after like Thanksgiving. And to me, I thought I got a pretty good deal. And like I said, I bought my first house hack on that Redfin, my second house hack on Redfin, my third house hack on Redfin. So I bought like my first 3 properties on Redfin. Only when I went to multifamily real estate is when I bought it off market using direct mail, right? I have videos talking about direct mail. Just search direct mail on my channel. I teach a lot about it. I teach it in my mentorship program, if that's how you want to find multifamily. But with multifamily, I had to go off market because that's how you find better deals, right? With single family, you can find deals on market, and probably you can find on meals or multifamily deals on market as well. It's just hard to come by. Like, for me, I like to talk directly with multifamily to the seller because I want to negotiate creative financing, seller financing to make it more of a win-win situation. Whereas with single family, it's just kind of like, well, you can find good deals on market. Like, I can buy new builds all I want, right? So I'm actually looking to do a new build burr, side tangent here. But so basically, I found out that you can buy these new builds for about $330K. And if you pay all cash, and cash is relative, right? So if you have the cash, great. You can pull any credit on one of my properties, great. You just pay it all cash. They'll discount it from $330K down to $300,000. And these will appraise at $350,000. Right? Because new builds typically will appraise a little bit higher than what they sell for. So if I bought it for $300,000 all cash or using line of credit, to the builder, they don't care. They're just getting all their money, right? And it appraises at $350,000. That's a 85% discount. I'm buying it. So I'm buying it with 15% equity day one, $50,000 of equity. However, there's some lenders where they allow you to do an 85% loan to value cash out refinance. So this is how you do a new build BRRRR, and I'm trying to really test it, and I want to buy it, right? So basically, let's say I pay all cash, or I do a line of credit against one of my properties and buy this for $300,000, which is $30,000 discounted. And then what I'm doing is I'm engaging another lender who does an 85% cash out refinance, loan to value, commercial lender. Typically, so interest rates can be 7 to 8%, to be honest. And I do 85% loan to value. I pull out all my $300,000 because I built up $50,000 of equity, and now I own this property with zero money in the deal, doing no renovation. So this is like a new construction BRRRR. So for me, I'll pull all my money and then rent it out. But the downside of this whole strategy, given the interest rate, is like it's gonna be cash flow negative a little bit, right? So as a long-term rental, maybe I can rent out for $2,100, and maybe the total all-in cost might be $2,400 if you include property management, HOA, utilities. So it'll be negative $300 to $400 a month. And to me, that's not ideal. But if I maybe treat it as a short-term rental, maybe it will break even at least, right? Get a little more cash flow, a little more work, right? So for me, I'm going to talk to a few lenders, but I'm even going to talk to other few lenders because like I don't want to pull any credit to put $300,000 because now I'm going to be paying 10% interest on that money, right? And it may take, a couple months to rent it out and then, to do the cash out refinance. I don't want to pay interest. So I'm trying to just engage lenders, like more portfolio lenders, and just tell them, hey, you allow 85% loan to value and cash out refinance. We can buy this for $300,000. It's going to appraise at 350, right? And I don't want to put any money in the deal, right? I'm buying it for 300,000. It appraised for 350. So there's 15% equity in the deal as the lender safety net. It's not my 15%. Not my 15%. It's because I'm buying it right, as well as it's having natural appreciation because it's new construction. So I just want the lender to be like, hey, we'll just give you $300,000, buy the property, and it's worth 350, right? So I'm trying to talk to a few lenders to do that. I have a feeling they might say no, but who knows, right? Because like to me, like it's semantics. Like, okay, I'm gonna pay, $300,000 cash only to have you cash out refinance it and give me $300,000. Like, you can run the appraisals. It's gonna be worth 350. Can you just cut the middleman of me paying cash and just give me the $300,000? So I put $0 in this deal, right? And then it's like a little bit cash flow negative, and I can see if I can treat this as like a short-term rental or a mid-term rental. If my property manager is willing to do it, because I just want to like break even on the property. So anyways, single family homes, you can buy it on market. That's what I did. Multifamily, I recommend going off market using direct mail, which is what I teach. Anyways, if you want to learn how to buy multifamily real estate with some guidance, check out the mentorship program down below. Otherwise, let me know what questions you have. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.